Okay, we are now live streaming and we're recording this meeting in accordance with the open government law. And so the meeting of the Public Defender Service Corporation Board of Trustees is now called to order. Will the secretary please call the roll?
Chief Justice F. Philip Carbolito.
I am present and I am logging on to our virtual meeting from my chamber at the Judicial Center.
Presiding Judge Alberto C. Lamareda III.
PJ, you're still muted, PJ.
Hi guys, I am present, Guam Judicial Center.
Trustee Cynthia V. Acubi.
I am present and I am here in my law office and again.
Trustee Donna Muña Canata.
I'm present and I'm here at my office in East Agana, Guam Auto Spot Court.
Guam Bar President Jackie T. Terlahi.
Okay, Jackie will be joining us momentarily, but in the meantime, the secretary has ascertained that we have a quorum and that we're able to conduct our business at the Public Defender Service Corporation. And for the record, Jackie, if you will just acknowledge that you are present and where you are logging on from.
Hafa this is Jackie Terlahi for the Guam Bar Association. I am logged in and at my office in Agana.
All right, thank you. And so we have all members present and accounted for. The first item on our agenda is under, first of all, the approval of minutes of the regular scheduled meeting of October 27th, 2020. Is there a motion to adopt the minutes?
Motioned.
So it's been moved by Trustee Donna Canata and seconded by, I think, Jackie Terlahi. So the motion has been moved and seconded. All those in favor of adopting the minutes, please indicate your support by saying aye.
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 So and those opposed, it's unanimous. The ayes have it, and the minutes are so adopted. Under old business, the first item on the agenda is the financial status update, and the allotment releases, and I will recognize Mr. Moreno to give his report.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, members of the Board of Trustees. We have, Public Defender Service Corporation and APD have received their first allotment in November 13, and we are anticipating another allotment release by next week. We are at both at 70%, and if we do when we do receive the second allotment, we will be at 93%. As far as the domestic violence program is concerned, one of the funding for Stop 2018 will be expended as of November 30th. We are still waiting the approval from BBMR for Stop 2019, which will last us until March of 2021. Well, we will be pushing forward with contacting the domestic violence program at the governor's office to expedite this approval of the MOU. That's it for the report for the financials. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Any questions for Mr. Moreno? All right, there being none, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, and it's the report from our Executive Director, Mr. Atori. Please go ahead and proceed. Steve, you're still muted.
Okay, good afternoon, board members. So we have provided our stats for FY 2020. We just summarize, we had about 1,310 cases. Could I share my screen, or let me try to share this so I can.
I made you the co-host, Steve.
Oh, okay. Thanks. That way everyone could see what I'm looking at. Did I share the right screen? You guys are seeing our little table here of cases. So it's broken down: felony, misdemeanor, juvenile, and miscellaneous others, including appeals, civil cases. Well, I don't know what that would be. Consultations and those war claims and special proceedings. So for the entire fiscal year, we picked up 1,310 cases, 559 felonies, 505 misdemeanors, and 158 juvenile cases. And it's spread pretty evenly among the attorneys, at least within the courtrooms. Clearly, as the next slide will show, certain courtrooms picked up more. Like, for example, the presiding judge picked up 257 cases. We picked up 257 of his cases in FY 2020. Of the 257 2020 cases, we have about 147 that are still pre-judgment. So they've resolved a large portion of that. And especially when you compare that to the other judges, like Judge Sokola, she picked up 176 cases from her, and we have 121 of those pre. And so these are just the numbers of their 2020 cases that are still pre-judgment. We have another table. I don't know if it's attached to the yeah, I don't see it attached here, so let me share that screen. And it actually wait, let me share this. I have to share this other screen, sorry. This one shows a cumulative number of pre-judgment cases by courtroom. So in the presiding judges, we have 399 pre-judgment cases. 205 are actually pre-judgment active, which means they're not subject to a bench warrant. And then we have 194 where bench warrants are outstanding. And so he really has one of the larger caseloads. Judge Sokola has 332 pre-judgment cases, but of these, 208 we call active, 124 have bench warrants outstanding. Judge Barcinas has 186 total cases, 149 are pre-judgment, and 37 are pre-judgment with bench warrants outstanding. Then Judge Gutierrez, she has 135. She received all of Judge Bordalio's former cases that were still open, as well as the ones that were temporarily reassigned to Magistrate Judge Kwan. So right now, she has 77 that are active and 58 that are bench warrants outstanding. Judge Uriarte, we have 56 total cases in her courtroom. 46 are active, 10 are bench warrant. But Judge Uriarte, we're spending a lot of time with the quarantine cases. Those are handled by the Deputy Director, John Morrison, so that the numbers don't really accurately reflect the amount of work we're doing in that courtroom. Then we have Referee Ingalls. We have a total of 31 cases that are considered pre-judgment active, and of the 31, 29 are active, 2 have bench warrants. Judge Senzon, we have 242 active cases. 198 of those are pre-judgment and 44 are bench warrants. So yeah, those warrants are outstanding. I'm not sure why we list Judge Mpinko. He should have been listed under this General Superior Court of Guam, where we have 191 cases that are assigned to different judges dating back to Judge Manabusin. And these should all be pretty much bench warrants, or they have their status hasn't been changed. I think we have cases that are still assigned to showing on our system, still assigned to FTG and Judge Manabusan, Judge Mpinko. So, but they're all pretty much bench warranted. And then we have like 9 cases in the Supreme Court. Judge Perez, he has really the heaviest one where we have 590 prejudgment cases, right? 465 are active and 125 are out on bench warrants. And so this is the one courtroom that is really, it appears statistically is giving us the most amount of difficulty in trying to resolve. It's a lot of information that we've provided. So if you guys have questions about it, you can email me or contact me through my direct line if you have any additional questions. One of our attorneys, Ali Nussbaum, resigned from the office and relocated to New York. And so we actively we hired another attorney, Brian Eggleston. So we're hoping that he'll be able to get sworn in by the Supreme Court. He was a former district law clerk with Judge Gatewood, and he's also another Stanford Law School graduate. And so he started about, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. And so we're in the process of filing the petition to have him sworn into office. I mean, sworn into the bar. Okay, and if you guys have any other questions, I mean, other than the the COVID-19 response, we've purchased 3 Facebook portals, which work really well. We've conducted numerous change of pleas from our breezeway. It's a device that was really inexpensive, about $130, but it has a noise canceling microphone. The speakers are much better than you would find on a tablet, and it uses relatively less Wi-Fi bandwidth than an ordinary tablet. So we're really happy with that. We've been meeting our clients through Zoom and using that, and also they've been doing change of pleas from our premises as well. So I think I mean, things are really moving. I think we're keeping the ball rolling forward. We did speak with Basil Malin and today, and we told him that just give us a list of clients, especially ADC clients, we'd be willing to waive grand jury and proceed to information for many cases. I think that could work in family violence. It could work in DUI court. It could work in obviously in drug court, where you don't really need a grand jury. If we can get a plea agreement, we'll plead them to an information, and it'll save the court the trouble of having 24 grand jurors show up on your property and have them sanitized and all that. Okay, do you guys have any questions?
Yeah, I didn't, Steve, I do. I didn't receive this in our packet, and I saw some chat message, but I'm not able to switch over right now. But I'm a little curious in reference to, you have, under Superior Court, if you can just scroll up, and you have a number of cases that are pending, and I'm curious as to why are these cases pending? Why are they not assigned to various judges? And if you're not able to answer that, can you provide a listing of those cases by number and title, and send that to our clerk of court? And I'd like for her then to kind of find out, why is it that these cases are pending and not assigned?
Okay, and it may be that they're just not assigned in our court, because a lot of these, like Judge Manabusan, I think had like 11 cases that were still under his name, but they were all bench warrants. So when they get picked up on the bench warrant, they'll get reassigned to a judge, and then we'll find out which judge that'll get reassigned to. So they're really, I mean, like Judge Gatewood had several, but we can run the case numbers and provide that to Danielle.
PJ, I'm not familiar with the process, but why are these cases still open? Is there a way that we can, the court can start closing these cases, and so there's not this backlog that shows up in their case management system?
Well, when a judge issues a bench warrant,
I'm sorry, I can't really hear you, PJ. You gotta, I mean, you're not muted, but you just got to speak up a little more.
hear me now?
Very vaguely. Yeah.
What happens is when a judge, even though he or she retired, warrant is still
No, I think you're going to have to come in and out again, or unmute and mute and unmute yourself because you're breaking up.
well, I'm going through this. Can you hear me now, CJ?
Yes. Yes, we can. Yes.
Yeah, when a bench warrant is issued by a judge, regardless of whether that judge is retired or suspended, the bench warrant is still active until that person is picked up, and then the clerk of court will reassign it to another judge.
Mm.
That's why that's why it's under those judges' names, because it's an active bench warrant issued by, for instance, Steve Pinto has 3 outstanding bench warrants. It's still under his name, but if that person is picked up, will be reassigned to another judge. So bench warrants are still active until that person is picked up, or it's closed because that person has passed away, or is finished or her probation, or
Okay. Yeah, you kind of faded out again, but I think I got the gist of that, and I can discuss that with you separately. Maybe but we'll go ahead and proceed. And if you can, Kathy, if it hasn't already been sent, in terms of what Steve Hattori is sharing, if you can send that to all the trustee members, so I can have that information.
Your Honor, I did send it this morning because Steve and JT just sent me the stats this morning. I did send it to all of the board members. It's pages 9, 10, and 11 in the new packet that I sent this morning, like at about maybe 10-ish. Whenever they gave me the stats that were updated. And in that new packet, I also included the color charts that Trustee Akubi asked for. So I sent that when she had made the request for the colors charts for the packet that I sent out separate to the board.
All right, if we'll just share screen then as we go along, because I was tied up this morning, so I didn't have a chance.
Okay, no worries.
Go in and retrieve any update of what you transmitted.
Okay, thank you.
So any questions for Mr. Hattori? If there are none, we'll move then to the report from our APD Managing Attorney Anna Maria Gale. Annie?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. We'll have our stats before the next board meeting packet, so we'll have that up for you as well. I did not receive the Mr. Hattori's stats yet. But anyway, just like to report that we're continuing to work through this pandemic. We have a staggered employees coming in, but our office, the attorneys have been able to work with DOC. We've been able to conduct Zoom meetings with our clients. Right now, DOC only allows us to use Zoom on the weekends, Saturdays. Once we set up with, we work with a couple of the DOC management. Mr. Officer Uggan got sick, so we've had to work with other members of the DOC staff, but we have been able to use the Zoom platform. This actually past weekend, I was able to use one of your interpreters who works at the court, and she was very helpful in my plea agreement meeting with my client. But anyway, we have been able to do that. We're still working with the with our all of the stuff that's going on with DYA and DOC. Just need to be aware that sometimes cases can't go as fast because we aren't able to meet with our clients physically, but we do have them come up and we do drive-through meetings, and we still follow all the protocols for that. As far as that's concerned, we still communicate with our clients through our WhatsApp, and that seems to be going well. The clients like that much better than a call. It's amazing how many messages we get on WhatsApp from our clients. I don't have anything else to let the court know or the board know. Thank you.
So for both you, Annie and Steve, Mr. Ottori, it's been reported to me that Steve, you had mentioned that your cases are not moving because the court is not available to conduct hearings. I'm a little confused. I don't understand that from the judges when I had a meeting with them. Why are you contending that the court is not available to process your cases?
No, that's not what we're saying, Your Honor. I think it's more that what's the hardest thing for us is actually working with the Attorney General's office, trying to get our cases moved. It's not the court, it's the Attorney General's office.
Well, the report I got was, Steve, and
Yeah, I've never said it was the court, so I'm not sure where you heard that report from. In fact, Judge Sokola has 100 hearings a week, so we have no problems doing that. But a lot of times we have court and then we just have to continue because we don't have the plea agreement or an offer hasn't been made. So, but we're trying to work with the AG's office and, trying to wrap up as many cases as we can. But the court is probably the most accessible, really agency in the entire government of Guam. I mean, the presiding judge probably has 100 hearings a week as well. Judge Perez has 100 hearings a week. So there's really no problem with that. They've been entertaining our bail motions regularly, and so it's really negotiating with the government. That's what we believe the problem is. And we've told them we're willing to waive grand jury. We've done change of pleas in drug court where the AGs went to grand jury even after we agreed to plead to an information. And so we're like, why are you taking a grand jury if you don't need to? And so, but we're still working with them. And I spoke with Basil Mountain this morning, and he seemed more receptive than usual to try to have his attorneys contact our attorneys and take off as many grand juries as we can resolve. I mean, if we have a plea agreement for time served, then of course we're going to waive grand jury. And so, I mean, I think we're resolving matters, just not as quickly as pre-pandemic days. But it's definitely not the court. I mean,
Well, let me then search for that email and I'll forward it to you, and I'll copy in the PJ because I don't want you to then be misquoted if this is inaccurate. But they gave me a message that is coming from you, and I wanted to discuss this with you separately. But I'll forward it to you, and I'll CC the PJ because and if there is an issue with the court, please let me know because I'm not aware of it. Our judges are indicating that they are conducting their hearings based on our virtual format, and maybe the PJ can even update, he has a meeting with the judges because our suspension of criminal jury trials, felony jury trials is going to be expiring the first week in December. So that is, that's going to be the PJ who will take the lead in reference to now proceeding forward with these jury trials. Do you have any information, PJ, or do you want to wait until after your meeting with the judges?
I'll wait after the meeting with the judges. And then I think we're set up on a meeting with the attorneys as well later on.
Yeah, that's next week, Tuesday. You're right. Yeah, all right. I'm involved in that.
Okay. And Your Honor, if we could just make a suggestion. So, I think you really need to have a criminal case manager and just line up all the asserteds based on the time of the assertion, just so that things don't fall through the cracks. Because if we're only gonna be able to have one felony trial a week, because there's only one courtroom available, and if we have a schedule, a line of cases, then I think the parties will work feverishly to resolve as many as they can before the trial date. Because unfortunately, the practice really is that it's the trial date that pushes the parties to settle matters, and I think that's true whether it's criminal or civil. And so, since we don't have trial dates, certain matters that would ordinarily be resolved either by taking a plea or going to trial are being delayed. And so, hopefully, if there a criminal case manager would, help line up those criminal cases that are asserted. But but and there are many assertions that are really only paper assertions, because they know that the speedy trial has been told till the end of December. Once they realize that, once the speedy trial clock starts again, then the clients and the attorneys will really winnow those number of assertions down to the actual ones that want assertions. So, we don't think the problem, we're hoping the problem really isn't going to be as bad as it seems right now.
All right. Well, we will have certainly more than one high-capacity courtroom, and that
Okay.
will materialize in the next 30 days. And so we'll have more information for you, because you are part of that stakeholder meeting that the PJ has set up with the clerk of court for next week, Tuesday. And so the PJ will be able to impart more information to you after his meeting with the judges tomorrow. All right. So if there's nothing else for our APD and our our managing attorney and our executive director, we'll go to the next item on the agenda, which is our legal services program for seniors, the Elder Justice Center. And who is going to report on this? Is this
Your Honor, it's just a really brief report. I know someone is here from the seniors division. I don't know if she wants to also
Miss
speak.
Charlene? That's
Charlene.
Ms. Sinicla?
I'll go ahead. So as of last week, Wednesday, November 18th, the MOU with Public Defender Services Corp has been received by the Office of the Attorney General. We did request for an expedite. So once that is done, we can't say if it's going to be done this week. It's Thanksgiving week. It could be next week, but please know that we are keeping track, and we too look forward to the partnership that this can bring.
Charlene, is the funding in place so that that is not an issue once the legal MOU has been signed?
Correct. The funding is already earmarked. I know that we are also anticipating our additional funds for FY21. But yes, the funds have already been identified and have been certified.
And so, okay, thank you, Charlene. So Steve, then if you could remind the trustees, once that MOU is signed, what are the next steps that need to be completed in order to implement the program?
Well, first we're going to meet with the Division of Senior Citizens to see if, they have office space over there, so we just have to outfit the office. We have computers for that will be on loan until the grant can, I guess, pay for the computers. And we're going to probably temporarily assign one attorney here to handle it until we can fill that, the attorney position. We still need to hire a program coordinator for that, which will be funded by the grant. So I think some applications have been submitted and we're going through those. But I think, I'm not sure. I think Kat Moylan's on. Maybe she could give an idea of how long. We just need to figure out a start date. And so maybe Ms. Moylan would have more information.
Kathleen?
Good afternoon, Your Honor and members. I've spoken with Ms. Charlene St-Nicholas, and she advised us that as soon as the contract is signed, then we will be able to meet to talk about those details and the timeline. we're hoping that as soon as that MOU is signed, we're optimistic that we'll be able to open within 2 weeks or so. But until we get the MOU signed and we have that meeting with DSC, then we'll be able to come back to the board with definitive timelines for you.
And so if that all is in place, the office is identified, equipped, an attorney that has been assigned. Now, since we're still in our partial lockdown, and there are no senior citizens present in the senior citizen centers, how do you go about servicing the needs of the senior citizens when they're still out in their homes and in the community?
According to Mr. Nicholas, they're compiling the client information, Your Honor. And as soon as we have our meeting, they will provide that information to us. It is our goal to contact those clients based on the wait list, so that way we can schedule them for intakes. Currently, we're anticipating we'll be doing it similarly like the way we do it here with our STOP program. If we can do it via telephone, if we could work with the senior citizens with any technological platforms like Zoom, we would like to do that with them. But we are looking forward to getting that list. It's really, we've been asking for the list, but as soon as that MOU is signed, they're able to give us that list. So that way we can assess how we can approach it.
All right. So Stephen and Charlene, so that means that you will need to purchase the IT equipment in terms of the laptops or, the webcams, because I think, this can only proceed virtually. And, we may want to try and, for those senior citizens that don't have the IT equipment, and they've been identified, can't be handled over the phone. Hopefully it can be handled over the phone. There should be some process set up where, this can be on loan or something, or they come to a particular place. And so that, the success and the continuity of the program has a very short time fuse of 6 months before it's reviewed. So although, we're operating in a pandemic environment, I think we all now have some experience. And so we don't want to use that as an excuse that, well, because, we're not able to meet with them in person, only 3 cases got seen. So I just like to toss that out. And so we can anticipate, and I'm sure you all are thinking of that. Any questions, comments, suggestions for our Elder Justice Center participants? Okay, if there's none under new business, we don't have anything. And so at this time, and JT, if you could get ready, I'm going to ask for a motion to recess and for us to reconvene in a breakout room for executive session, where we will discuss the desk audit of our managing attorney, Attorney Gale. So is there a motion to recess and reconvene in executive session?
I'll make the motion.
Honor.
So it's been moved by Attorney Ekubi and seconded by the presiding judge. And all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Those opposed? And so it's unanimous, the ayes have it. And so JT, if you can then put the trustees and we will need Kathy, who has helped in the staff in preparing the desk audit.
Catherine,
Okay,
she's here.
so Catherine and yourself, if we can all move into executive session.
Okay, I'm working on that now, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
You want to sit down?
And no, John's not on there, right? Just, and
Not Annie and
so just those four?
Yeah.
Okay. So open my rooms.
and then how about the recording on
Oh,
YouTube,
yes.
right? YouTube?
Yes, it stops automatically.
Okay. Stop share. So JT, can you just go to,
Your Honor,
can they hear you?
okay, we're gonna join, right?
Who's in her? She. She's gonna.
Okay, everyone should be back to normal now, right?
Yeah.
I guess we're just waiting for the presiding.
You should be there, right?
No, maybe not.
There he is. There he is.
Okay. I'll close that real quick.
Your mute, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, PJ. I was saying that we have now we are back in regular session, having risen from executive session where there was a discussion on the audit of desk audit of the managing attorney position currently occupied by Attorney Annie Gale. At this time, I will entertain a motion from the presiding judge, and if I could just summarize, PJ, and then you can confirm and make any clarification. But the motion would be to task Attorney John Morrison to, since he is familiar with the background of the managing attorney position, to inform the board as to how the managing attorney position evolved from an unclassified position to a classified position, because we don't want to affect an incumbent who currently allegedly holds a classified position. But there's been no record to the knowledge of the Public Defender Service Corporation trustees of any board action to affect this. And so we just want to make sure that there's been a proper authority in which the position of the managing attorney was reclassified from unclassified to classified. And that's the task that we would ask Attorney Morrison to clarify for the trustees. And then PJ, you wanted also him to outline options in reference to if there was a certain finding. Could you just repeat that?
Yeah, just to provide options to the board, what legal options we have as far as the present situation is concerned, and also provide options of what we should do in the future.
So there is a motion to make a task and request this from Attorney John Morrison, and hopefully to be provided before the next board meeting. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Any discussion? And John, do you have any questions or need for any clarification?
I don't believe I have any questions on it. I'll of course review the file that our HR specialist has in her possession and see what can be gleaned from there, and I'll advise the board.
All right, thank you. And so Annie, do you have any questions, or you want to inform the board in reference to your knowledge in this reclassification?
Your Honor, this is new to me in the sense that this is what the board wants to look at. So I'll reserve my comments, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So it's been moved and seconded. There being no further discussion, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those
Aye.
opposed? Those opposed? It's been unanimously adopted. And Annie, it's just for purposes of clarifying, because certain board members were of the position that it was it originated as an unclassified, and no one can answer the question of how it became classified, and that it may have required board action, and possibly that this didn't go obtain a board action. But if it did, then we will push forward. And,
Well, then can I be invited to the next executive session if need be?
Yes, absolutely. You will be you can be included. And if you have any information that can help clarify this, because you're the incumbent, then please provide that to Attorney Morris, to John, so that he can provide a complete and informed memorandum for the information of the board.
I will, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, so that concludes the, we did vote on it, right? Yes, it was unanimous. So that completes the agenda for the Board of Trustees meeting for November. I want to wish all of you a happy Thanksgiving, and please everyone be safe, and we'll see you all after the Thanksgiving holiday. Is there a
Thank you, Your Honor.
to adjourn before we
Motion
do?
to adjourn subject to December 22nd.
All right, so it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it. This meeting is duly adjourned. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Safe, everyone.
All right. Happy
Happy
Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving.
Used to be
No, I don't know. I really don't think, I think that
Well,
Bennett
just
was
had-
supposed to make it unclassified, but I don't think